Namaskar. I'm sitting in a beautiful oats field. It has been harvested already, but still it's very beautiful. And beautiful birds and beautiful sky and mountains and flies and mosquitoes. Everything is perfect. I'm going to talk today about maturity of personality. And what is this maturity? Psychologists, they speak about that there is only a very small percentage of people who have become mature, who have achieved emotional maturity and personal maturity. I want to highlight one very important aspect of maturity. You know that the world is governed by three gunas or energies, which are called Tamogun. They are, in philosophy, in yogic philosophy, they are, guna means binding fetter, something which communicates to the consciousness a certain quality, like certain qualities. So there are three gunas: Tamoguna, the force of inertia, Rajoguna, the dynamic force, and Sattvaguna, the force of wisdom, the subtle force. So the most rudimental initial stage where we find the person is the stage of Tamoguna. The soul is sleeping, the energy is sleeping, and such person, he will always believe he is inactive. So activity comes only due to external activation. If something activates, the pressure of circumstances activates me, so then I act, otherwise I don't act. And naturally such person will have the philosophy in his mind. He will believe that everything is the result of external forces. And when there is this mismatch of human potential and realization of that human potential, fulfillment of that, expression of that human potential, there is potential and there is expression. So if potential is great, but expression is very little, that very potential in you will make you very bitter, will make you very sad. And that bitterness you will pour out. You will blame some other people or external forces. You will feel that maybe the politics are at fault, maybe economic situation is at fault, maybe there is not a good weather, maybe I am not lucky, and so on and so on. There are many external forces, and you attribute your situation, you attribute your success, your failure to the external forces. That is the very sad state of mind, and sadly there are many people in that state. They believe in external forces. Another state is Rajoguna, is the awakening of the ego. The ego has to awaken. In spiritual philosophy, in spirituality, somehow there is this belief that ego is bad. That ego must be suppressed, you have to dissolve ego. Ego is, if you have the ego, you are a better person, and things like that. But it is not true. If you are coming out of the state of Tamoguna into state of Rajoguna, you awaken your ego. That ego is not bad. That ego is good for you. Ego is the more advanced stage. You are sleeping, now you are awake. So what is that stage? When you own your life, when you take responsibility, whatever happens, I am in charge. I am in charge. I am the captain of my ship. I am guiding my life myself. I am driving this car. So that state is much more powerful than the sleeping state. But, there is but. That state, like Tamoguna, is a very painful state because of unfulfilled potential. And that unfulfilled potential makes you very sad, unhappy, bitter. Now in the state of Rajoguna, when you took the rein, you are going to fulfill your potential. You are going to express your potential. And you are going to be happy also. But, there is but. Let's say you are doing some project. And you are the captain. You are the driver. You are doing everything. So your project is growing, going up, going up, going up. And everything is a wave in the world. It goes up, goes down. So you're going up, going up, going up. You have energy, you have good congenial circumstances. Then something happens. The project starts to go down. And you are somehow unable to drive it up. And you're going down. So at that moment, it's just like Rajoguna state. Oh, I'm going to, rule this galaxy. You're going high, high, high. Then you're going down. Oh, I'm so wretched. I'm so unlucky. I'm so unsuccessful. I have no qualities. So this going. I'm great. I am nothing. I'm great. I'm nothing. There is this wave going on, and this is the pain of the Rajasic state of the mind. The egoistic state of the mind. This is the pain. Otherwise, it's wonderful. Ego is wonderful. But it has this but. So, even before, very long time ago, the great master, the great guru who lived in this world, embodiment of divinity, his name was Krishna. He was Krishna. And he produced a very important scripture which is called Bhagavad Gita. Basically, it is a song sung by Bhagavan, sung by the divine entity. So he was teaching Arjuna, his disciple. So he was telling him, first he was telling him, look, everything is in your hands. There is the law of karma. So basically, you do good, and everything is going to be good. Do good, get good. This was the ideology. So he was explaining the working of the gunas, the working of the karma, and how you should be careful to do good actions, not to do bad actions. So basically teaching the Arjuna that Arjuna, you are in charge. You're in charge of your life. But then, as it progresses, then Arjuna is somehow incapable of accepting the Krishna's orders and advices. So then he says, Arjuna, everything is in my hands. You can do nothing. Everything is decided cosmically. And even the blade of grass cannot move without the supreme will. And nothing can happen without the supreme will and supreme approval. I have decided everything. You are a mere instrument in my hands. So these two teachings, one is Prapatti, you are in charge. Another one is you are not in charge. You are not anything. Everything is God's will. So, and then this is thesis and antithesis. And then clash of these two philosophies, synthesis of these two philosophies gives rise to the philosophy of Prapatti. Prapatti means you can control your action, but you are not in charge of the result. You cannot control the result, but you can control the action. So basically, and that is the best approach. That approach makes a human being the most happy. You understand that I'm in charge of something. I'm in charge of what? I'm in charge of my action. I'm in charge of my sincerity. Many times people in the static state of mind, they say, oh, everything is in the hands of God. God will do everything. So what I have to do, I cannot do nothing. I should not do nothing. I cannot do nothing. So, never activating themselves, never coming into that state of awakening. That is a false philosophy. And the real philosophy is that I will do my best. I will make my best effort, maximum sincere effort. I don't believe in failure. I believe in success. I will try 100 times. I will try 1,000 times. And if need to be, I will try 1,000,000 times until I succeed. But I accept that this success is not in my hands. Success will come as the desire of the Supreme, as the grace of the Supreme. So I'm ready. If I'm not successful, I'm ready. It's okay. But I'm not ready to give up on my sincerity. So that awakening of your sincerity and then finally surrendering, letting go of all the results, trusting the Supreme, is the highest degree of personal maturity. In that state, you are going to be a happy person. Also, I was thinking, like even, sometimes I see these expressions everywhere. Even people come for collective meditation, let's say. So they hear me saying like, oh, collective meditation is great, this and that. So they build up a certain expectation. Okay, let me find a community, let me come to the meditation together. And then, so how did you like it? Oh no, that I didn't like so much. I thought that people will be more developed, they will be more great, they will be, the very, very outstanding personalities, but it seems like they're common people, normal people. This attitude signifies that Tamoguņa in the mind. It means, again, I rely on the external forces. I am not creator. I am not co-creator of this situation. I'm not activating myself. I'm relying on the external forces. If you take responsibility for what you do, you will get awakened and you will be high from inside, not from outside. Yeah. So this is very important. Once you own it, once you take the responsibility, then you get energy. It's like, you can get grace or blessings from outside. There is a best situation, best circumstances, best people around you, best resources, everything. That's like a grace coming from outside. Luck coming from outside. Still, you cannot take much of that. But when you own the situation, when you decide, let me awake, let me be creator, let me actively participate, then something inside of you awakens. And you receive grace from inside, not from outside, from inside. Your own Atma, your own soul become active, gives you energy, gives you inspiration. Actually, the ideal of Tantra, the ideal of spirituality is what is the fastest way for the person to develop? Is from inside there is grace. From outside there is obstacles. That is the fastest way to achieve success in life. The obstacles will give you motivation to grow. Like there is this mountain, so you climb the mountain, so you become very high also. You sit on the top of the mountain, and that mountain has become a ladder for you to rise. So ladder is always an obstacle, and using that obstacle you are rising. But if outside there is a comparison that God, the Supreme Teacher, the Supreme Guru, he is just like a pot maker. There is this clay, and you are making one kind of pot. It is turning. With one hand, God is supporting the inner wall, and with another hand, he is forming the outside wall. So these two actions. So support of the inner wall is your inner inspiration, is your inner decision to thrive, to prosper, to achieve success. That's your inner will to live and to thrive. And outside, the outside hand of God, and that life, that expression of life, that love for life, that love for thriving, for developing, is nothing but God's grace. Comes from the spiritual sphere of life. And the external hand of God is the circumstances, is the obstacles, is the challenges which you are facing there in the world. So both hands are necessary to transform you into a great personality. So this inner inspiration comes when you awake, when you decide to live, to be the master, to be the owner of life. That awakens. But then in the end you also understand, I am not actually the owner. It is the divine. That inspiration in me doesn't belong to me actually, it belongs to him. In the end, it is all up to him. I can only have the right of action. I can only utilize the divine energy sincerely and to try. And the result is not in my hand. So if something happens not the way I envisioned it, I'm not going to get frustrated. I'm not going to be sad. Rather, I will be happy that I have done my best. I've been to the utmost capacity. I've been sincere. So, I'm happy. I've done my best. Do your best. And then thrive. So that is the sentient approach, is the approach of wisdom. You awaken and then you are, you understand that actually everything is the hands of the Supreme. So, yeah, you can write in the comments if you have experienced already that awakening, or maybe this video has inspired you to awaken and to be not a consumer, but to be a creator. Every episode of your life, you are making it, you are playing it out, you are acting, you are not sleeping. So, if you have awakened already to that kind of psychology, then you write how you managed to do that. What have happened? I saw in many cases, like the person is static, is very no, even in the religious arena, people say, oh, everything is God's will, this and that. It's not like that. And the person is sleeping and drifting and drifting and drifting. It's not what we want. So, and then normally like a very, very strong crisis happens to the person, and that person is forced to awake, forced to act. And in that forceful awakening, he understands, oh, I can do something, actually. It is not everything due to external forces. Something really depends on me. And that awakening happens. From that moment, person progresses very, very fast, moves very fast and achieves very, very high things in life. So I hope you don't want to be sleeping. I hope you want to awaken and remain awake all the time. Thank you very much. Namaskar.